My name is Vladyslav Plyaka. I am 19 years old. I am a student at the University of Wisconsin Oshkosh, pursuing double major in journalism and political science. I am Ukrainian. So, when the invasion happened on February 24th, 2022, I lived in a 3-story house with my dad, my mom, my younger brother Stefan, and my dog Zhuzha. I remember the first day of the invasion as it was yesterday. I was studying for my math exam the entire night, and I fell asleep like at maybe 3 a.m. in the morning, hoping for maybe like 15-minute nap so I can wake up and come back to study. But sadly, I overslept badly, and I woke up at 6:30 a.m. and I immediately checked my phone, and I see that classes were canceled at school. And I was like, that's weird. I wonder why, because there was no explanation for that. And I go to check news and I see just hundreds of messages that Russian tanks rode into Ukraine. And then I was like, whoa, what do I do? I wanted to go to the first floor to see if anyone is awake. And I'm going downstairs and I see my dad packing up some emergency supplies, some medical supplies, some money, some clothes and all of the stuff. And I come up to him and I just ask one simple question that I had in mind. I ask him, war? And he says war in response. When the invasion happened, my parents were like, okay, we are all gonna live in our basement. And they actually made it really nice. It just was a small space, maybe 15 feet by 15 feet, and they made it really cute and nice and tried to make it as comfortable as possible in such uncertain times of war. But then 2 weeks after, we realized that our improvised bomb shelter had only one entrance, which basically means that if, imagine, a missile would land or a drone would land somewhere in the house, it would probably destroy the entire house and there would be no way to get out of the improvised bomb shelter. After that, my parents decided that we would sleep at the first floor of our house using the rule of 2 walls, which basically means that you have 2 walls and you kind of like, you have 2 walls on the outside, and within those walls you have another walls that you kind of like, if the first walls are destroyed, then it will protect from the debris. And we used that rule, and I slept on an air mattress, and I slept like that on a floor for about a month. And the worst part was that it deflated every single night. Then I would sleep on the floor, but at least I had my dog Zhuzha who would sleep in my legs, and at least something was nice about that moment. But then I was getting tired of sleeping on the floor every single morning, and then I decided to come back to my room on the 3rd floor. One night I was not able to fall asleep, and so I was playing games, and it was like 2 a.m. in the morning, and there was no air alert siren around the town. And then I hear first just huge massive explosion that just I was stunned. I had no idea what do I do. And it's like I'm stunned for like 10 seconds, and then I can hear another explosion that's even way stronger, and I'm just like, and I feel that 3rd floor is just like going back and forth. That was extremely scary. And then in the morning I found out that all of the missiles were intercepted. But that was the moment when I realized how fragile one life is. You just don't know when you can be the next target. You just don't know what will happen the next day to you. You can go outside and debris might explode somewhere in the sky and it might land near you and you may get injured. It's like you don't know what can happen. And that's the moment when I realized that I should not take the fact that I can live right now for granted, and every day can be as my final day, no matter what. I often doubt my decision to go to the United States because it is my 3rd year here in America, and it is just extremely hard to be too far away from my family. I chose to study political science and journalism at the University of Wisconsin Oshkosh with the hope that I will be able to come back to Ukraine and be the person who is going to do some changes in Ukraine. In 20 years, for example, when maybe I will have kids, that I want to look in their eyes and be like, I did everything I possibly could to say that they will live in a prosperous Ukraine. The price that Ukraine is paying right now is extremely high because I have friends and family relatives and friends of friends who had been killed in a war. I'm hopeful that I will be able to say to my kids that they will live in peaceful Ukraine and that they will have every single right they possibly could have in a peaceful, independent, and democratic Ukraine.